All right, let's learn something with your friendly neighborhood Dr. Witten. That's me. Hi, today I want to talk with you about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is one type of dementia that starts with an inability to encode new memories and gradually leads to the loss of long-term memories. Other aspects of Alzheimer's disease include confusion, depression, and leading to delusions and hallucinations and eventually death. So, what is happening neurologically when someone develops this condition? Well, what happens is that a protein called beta amyloid accumulates in the brain starting with the hippocampus. This results in an inability to form new memories. For example, the afflicted person may even forget that they just ate lunch and start making it again. To the surrounding temporal and parietal lobes. Damage to the temporal lobe leads to difficulties with speech and reading, as well as difficulty in naming objects. Damage to the parietal lobe leads to poor direction sense. Eventually, this damage spreads through the frontal cortex, leading to an inability to pay attention, confusion, and impulsivity. And then the occipital lobe may also be affected, resulting in visual problems. Eventually, the damage spreads to areas of the brain necessary to maintain life. But what is causing this catastrophic damage? It is actually the buildup of proteins called plaques and tangles. So what causes these plaques and tangles to form? The amyloid beta peptides responsible for forming plaques are part of a much larger protein called amyloid precursor protein, or APP. APP is found in the neural membranes along dendrites. They are broken down by a couple of enzymes that cut through APP, releasing beta amyloid. This is a normal process happening in all brains. Your brain, my brain, Beyonce's brain. But in those with Alzheimer's, this process is accelerated. And to make it even more unfair, the brain's natural process of clearing out these beta amyloid deposits is disrupted. This leads to way too much beta amyloid, which is sticky. So each clump sticks to other clumps to form bigger clumps called, you guessed it, plaques. Plaques form in the synaptic clefts between the neurons, so the neurons can't signal to each other, severely disrupting the brain's ability to function. But beta amyloid is not the only protein involved in Alzheimer's disease. Another protein, tau, is a protein located inside the neuron. In general, the structure of proteins is very important. To function as intended, each protein the body makes is folded into a very specific three-dimensional shape, like origami. If something causes the tau protein to misfold, it forms toxic clumps in the neuron called neurofibrillary tangles. That is what's happening with Alzheimer's disease. Plaques and tangles gradually spread through the brain, starting with the hippocampus and leading to this progressive and deadly form of dementia. So, time for a review question. Where do plaques form? A, inside the neuron, or B, outside the neuron at the synapse? I hope you picked B because that is the correct answer. Plaques form in the synaptic clefts between neurons. One more question. Where do tangles form? A, inside the neuron, or B, outside the neuron at the synapse? Here, it's A. Tangles form inside the neurons. Now, I want to end this video with a very important message. Alzheimer's disease is not only hard on the patient, it is incredibly emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, and in all other ways taxing on the family, on the caretakers. If you know someone who is taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's, reach out to them. They need your help. And if you are a caretaker, ask for help. I will post a few resources that I'm aware of. Okay, this is Dr. Witten. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.